For today's video, we're going to see if we can get some fuel, or even more fuel to this thing, and see if we can get it further down than just the driveway. Now, I just want to say a massive thank you for the support on the last video. I was just going to do a quick video, show you what I got, and I'll probably just leave it there, but you guys seem to be quite interested in the old Shaggin wagon, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of this LPG system. Quite a few people were asking for it in the comments of the last video. Now, because I didn't think I was going to do any more videos, I did start to take it apart, but I have left the converter here, I don't even know, a solenoid here, electrical box, and the tank is still in. Now, the tank is going to be removed by a professional. They'll be off camera, so won't be filming that, but I will be getting all this out for anyone that's interested, as well as try to get this line that goes under the car out. So let's start with that. Converter, solenoid and electrical box gone, and it already looks quite a bit better in here. Now, it obviously does need a clean, and there's holes to be plugged, but that'll be for a future video, I reckon. So it looks pretty good. Now, I did fit up this air filter off camera. I think I bought this off a marketplace for around 50 bucks, and it suits the motor, obviously. So that's what that looks like now. So it looks pretty much bog standard now, without the LPG. Now, I'm gonna try my best to get this line out. I'll probably do it off camera because it is gonna be a pain in the ass to show you how that comes out. So I'll do that and I'll get back to you. Alrighty, so I've tried to get the line out. It is looking like a no-go. I think the best way to do it is to lift the body up and take it out. Might leave that to the technician, if you know what I mean. Now, we might move on to the next thing, which is fitting a new fuel pump. So, I don't know if I told you in the last video, but the fuel pump in it currently, the diaphragm turned to absolute shit. Obviously, it hadn't been used for quite some time, and it just decided to hit the bin. So, we're going to be replacing that. So, pretty simple. Taking this off, put a new fuel filter in, some new hose, and then the hard line, I think we saw in the last video, was already off. So pretty easy, these ones. Just take it out, make sure it's all lubed up, ready to go, put it back in, and should be ready to go. So let's start by replacing all the lines here. Alright, so I've made it underneath the car now, and we're going to replace these lines up here. So I've just quickly blown it out, made sure there's no crap in it. So I've got some new line, hose clamps, and all the tools I should hopefully need to replace it all. So I'm going to start fitting these up now. I'm pretty certain we've got one here, one over there, and possibly another one there, but I'm going to double check that. And then once we've done the ones under here, then we can move up to the front of the car and do the ones in the engine bay. Now, it is pretty shit to film under here. I really need to get a hoist so I can do these a little bit better, but hopefully soon I'll have a hoist and then I can get all this done quite a bit easier. Alright, I'll be back to you in a second. Alrighty, there we go. So, new hose up here. We've also got the new hose over there. Now, I was looking at the hose just there. That one won't have to be, well, it should probably be replaced, but I'm not going to replace it. That's for the charcoal canister, so most of it's going to be plugged anyway. Don't tell them the road wheelie man, but yeah, that shouldn't really matter. So I'm just going to leave that one. Let's move on to the engine bay. Alrighty, so up the front here, got a bit of a funny looking design for the hose here, but I reckon I'll just replicate it. Seems like the easiest, and probably better than trying to fit a fuel filter in here and having very little hose. So probably just copy the design. Looks pretty right, looks like it's done the job, so let's replicate that. Alright, there we go. So that's our replacement section for in here. Now before I put it in, I'm going to remove this fuel pump. Now they're pretty easy. Obviously once you get your hard line, your soft line off, you just got two 13mm bolts, I believe, back there. Take them out and then the whole piece will come out. So let's get onto that. So that's our old fuel pump out. Now the problem with these fuel pumps is when the diaphragm decides to go on it, which is in here, then the fuel coming in that's being pumped goes down and feeds into your oil and then destroys your oil and then could possibly destroy your engine. So this one, yeah, diaphragm is dead in that one, so I am replacing that. Now this one is an original OEM made in Australia one. I don't know if it's an original Holden one, which we might actually be able to find out here. So it is a Carter fuel pump, so possibly original. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. But we're going to be taking the fitting off of that. We're going to put it in here. So I'm going to quickly clean up this area, get rid of all the crappy old gasket. Just going to use a razor blade, just clean the surface, and then we can fit the new one. So I'll get back to you in a second. So new fuel pump has the fittings in it, one blank and one from the original pump. Now that should be ready to go in. Now before I put it in, I like to get a little bit of assembly lube. Just put it on. Once it comes out, it is quite a thick consistency. Maybe not. All right. Well, I like to put it inside here and just on here where it sits on the cam. That way it is pre-oiled. And that way you know you're not going to get any premature wear. Now these are bloody easy as they're just sitting there like that. So make sure you don't forget your gasket, and off you go. I'll put it in and I'll get back to you. Alrighty, so that's the pump in. Now it looks pretty bloody good compared to the engine. I still need to give the engine a good wash, but I might do that in the next video. I might do a detailing video. But for now, that's in. I'll make sure I torque those down so we don't get any leaks. Then it's just as simple as getting this hard line here, just feeding that in, and getting a soft line and filter in. So quickly put that on, and then we should be right to fire it up. Now, before I do put this soft line on, actually, I'm going to prime the system. So I'm going to put a bit of fuel in the hard line down that way and a bit in the pump. That way it doesn't run dry and it can get all the fuel up pretty easily. So I'll do that. It's nothing pretty, but we've got the fuel pump in, we've got the lines hooked up. Now, it looks a bit stupid, but it's going to do the job, and that's the main thing, I reckon. Now we've got the hard line hooked up, and that's hooked up to the carby. Get a battery in it, and then we'll fire her up and see what happens. Okay, we are ready to go. Battery's in. Now, very important thing to remember is before you start trying to get fuel up, make sure you put fuel in it. So, let's chuck some fuel in it and then we'll go turn the key. Alright, I've put about 15 litres in. That should be more than enough just to see what it does. Now I'm going to take the centre off of the dizzy there. Actually, let's go that one there, a bit easier. Just so we don't get it to fire up, just see if we get fuel into the filter and then hopefully up into the bowl. I want to fill the bowl up. So, stick the negative on. Alright, let's see what happens. Make sure it's in neutral. Alright. Oh, I can see fuel coming up. Alrighty. That is a very good sign. Okay, we've got some fuel coming up. Sweet. Let's see if I put the dizzy back on. Let's see if she'll start right up. I reckon she'll do just that. Let's see. Come on. Take a little bit to prime up. Hey! There we go. Took a little bit of pumping, but filter's full. She's running. Easy as that. Running a dream. Got a few exhaust leaks through it. They're a bit easier to hear when you're here. You can see how dodgy the exhaust is. But she's running. How good. Alright, I'll get off the jack stands and take it for a spin.
There we go. Second gear works. Third gear works. That's right. Alright. Pretty good.
Well, there you go. She runs a dream. Didn't cut out at the end of the driveway, so it's doing much better than last video. Now it is running a little bit, but I think it's something to do with the carby. Probably needs a good rebuild and whatnot, but for what it is, it's doing pretty well. We did have a little leak coming from the outlet from the fuel pump, but fixed that up, so that's all good now. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for today's video. Again, thanks for all the love in the last video. I didn't think that video would do so well, so thanks again for that. Now, what else? I don't know what I'm going to do in the next video. I might do a bit more in detail and maybe even give it a detail and clean it up. So if you want to see that, let me know. And until then, catch you next time, guys. Cheers for watching.